What will my first sentence be? Which would be a topic sentence, right? Topic sentence. How many sentences do you think it'll take you to explain evidence number 1? I'd say at least 2, possibly 3. I'd say 2 to 3 sentences for evidence number 1, just to give a little summary of what's going on and what Prospero does, and to show how it reveals arrogance. And then 2 to 3 for evidence number 2, and then what do you need? Conclusion sentence. 1 plus 3 plus 3 plus 1 is 8 sentences. It's a good sized paragraph, right? I think you can start to see why my requirement of minimum 5 sentences actually means that's a pretty short paragraph. These paragraphs that I'm asking you to write will take you a little bit more than that if you're filling in all the blanks. But as I told you, with your conflict extended writings that you will receive back, I look at them and I see that huge chunks are missing. Model your paragraph before you write. Don't just jump into a blank space on Microsoft Word. Say, this is the definition. I need this information, this information, this information. What is it in the story? On what pages can I find it? And then write. You'll find that paragraph much easier to write, too. Oh. Man, I was going to ask you questions before revealing notes. I hate revealing notes before I ask you questions, but that's fine. There's your round character defense. You find evidence for a character trait. We'll call that trait A. You find evidence for a second character trait that significantly differs. We'll call that trait B. So what is different between this and dynamic character? Yes, Josiah. They're both at the same time, which means it would be a good idea to find those pieces of evidence somewhere close together. Dynamic character shows that evidence at the beginning and at the end, distant. You can show change with the moment of change in there. Round character traits, find the two, show them somehow close together. Which story gives us our best example of those traits existing simultaneously? Josiah? Two kinds. Because there's a paragraph in that story where she basically talks about seeing both sides of her at the same time. The author couldn't be clearer about her round character traits. But see if we can find anybody else. Who else might we consider a round character? One who is who has different traits at the same time. I'm sorry? Her mother too. All right. We'll work with that. Josiah, was your suggestion, so start us off. Give me trait A, or trait number 1. Confident, believes in her daughter. I'll tell you what, let's make it a little bit easier here. Really nice if you can go to the positive and the negative traits. Those that seem to be traits that we admire and those that seem to be traits that we don't like. Sarah?
Traits that we don't like, I would say greedy.
Greedy for what? So might we call her selfish because she's only interested in glory for herself through her daughter? Excellent, I like that. I changed that, Sarah, simply because greedy to me thinks like you want stuff, but she wants recognition. Yeah. So that's excellent. Daniel?
I think she's like, like a good trait of her. She's like kind of really confident about her daughter being,
Sure. So she is a confident person. Confidence in her daughter.
Would high expectations fall under confidence?
Yeah, because she believes that she can achieve those high expectations. So sometimes those people who seem to be really pushy and really demanding, like sometimes teachers who have high demands and high expectations in class, I have no idea who those might be, are actually showing a great amount of confidence in the student or in the child, saying, you can do this. And furthermore, I'm going to hold you accountable for it because I believe you can do it. And anybody who tells you otherwise or who lets you get away with something is telling you that you can't do it. which is, by the way, just sort of an off note, exactly what I believe. I challenge you folks because I believe you can rise up to this level. So, Jingmei's mother is confident and does trust her daughter. Sarah? Okay, high expectations, and that would be part of that also, right? Because she believes that Jingmei can achieve it. Evidence.
Confident when she was talking to the little girl's mom, she was bragging about how her daughter can play piano.
But she was falsely bragging, wasn't she?
Yeah.
So let's find a better example than that, because that one seems to be overconfidence and it might seem to be negative. Sarah?
Maybe for the selfish one, self-absorbed, I don't know what the word is, but she goes to her beauty training school and makes her go flatten out her hair.
Nice. How does Jingmei feel about the beauty training? If she reacts negatively, then we see that this is mom being selfish. Daniel?
Like about the confidence, it's like when Jingmei finally kind of went off on her and said, you just want me to be the best at everything, and she and then the mom said, I don't want you to be the best, I just want you to do something.
Nice. Can you find that?
Yeah.
Because that would be awesome for a quotation. You know what? We don't just need one piece of support for either of these. Let's strengthen it. Let's give ourselves more support. Find more instances where mom seems to be selfish. Find more instances where mom seems to have confidence and trust and belief in her daughter. Yeah?
Well, I'm thinking that she's confident in her daughter. I think she's very confident in America and society because she seems like she moved to America because...
Okay, hold on a second, though, Josiah. We only have 2 minutes in the class, so I'll tell you what. That one would complicate things a little bit, so let's not extend the discussion there. I understand where you're going, but that's a much greater, complex discussion about the literature, so let's just hold that one off, okay? All right. As we round up here, the last defense is what? Which one have we not shown? Flat. What do you think we need to show for flat? One trait. The flat character defense is very simple. All you have to say is this character has this one trait and never demonstrates anything else. But you should support that with multiple examples of that single trait, not just one example. What page was that on?
It's on
146 for confident on round. Bob Ewell in To Kill a Mockingbird is simply cruel and selfish, and those are two related traits, so that makes him flat. And you could show examples from the moment he's introduced in the narrative to the moment he exits the narrative of him being cruel and selfish throughout. I could list 3 or 4 examples right now and write a paragraph that defends that he is a flat character. Pick your prompt for extended writing number 2. Did everybody hear that? Pick your prompt for extended writing number 2. Rough draft is due on Monday. Pick your prompt, available on the website and on that sheet that I gave you.